I made my first large Bitcoin investment right over here. And unfortunately, I sold most of my holdings right over here. Not the best decision. But it felt pretty good for a while, having done 300% in less than 6 months. I was a market genius. But the truth is that I had a personal emergency, and there were not any options for me apart from selling my holdings. Had there been a way for me to enjoy my crypto without actually having to sell it, I would have been very well off today. And so we started a project with people who had gone through similar experiences as myself to address this very issue. The recurring question in our discussion was, how do you profit, how do you enjoy your crypto wealth without actually having to sell it? And from friends, we became partners in this exciting new company that I would very much like to talk to you about, NEXO Bank. And as I was kindly introduced, my name is Antoni Trenchev. I am one of the co-founders of NEXO Bank. Now, our goal is to unlock the value of digital assets, and we do that by allowing you to get an instant loan, which is backed by your digital assets. Most obviously, that would be Bitcoin. And now, in order to see how this is relevant, let's have a look at the blockchain world as it is today. The truth of the matter is that most digital assets are idle right now. They're not generating any revenue, and they're not helping in any significant way towards your life's general happiness. The liquidation process is pretty slow, but before I go into that, let me say that 60% of Bitcoin wallets right now do not have outgoing transactions. That means that nobody is enjoying the crypto wealth as they should be. The liquidation process, as I mentioned, is slow and inefficient, and most of all, it is pretty expensive. When I was selling my Bitcoins, I had to pay exchange fees, I had to pay withdrawal fees, and it took quite a while until I got my money in my bank account. And once you actually do manage to sell, you obviously lose ownership of your digital asset, of your Bitcoin, and with that, all the upside potential that it might hold. And depending on which part in the world you are living in, you end up paying up to 40% in capital gain tax. Now that's almost half of your profit gone. Now let's see how NEXO Bank addresses precisely these issues. Instead of selling, we are giving you a way to borrow money, to get a loan, an instant loan, secured by your digital asset. You get instant access to cash in a matter of seconds. You retain the ownership of your Bitcoin as it is securely stored away. And the best part of it, what blockchain enthusiasts like ourselves like the most, is the fact that these transactions are very cheap and they're cost-free. Let's have a look at how precisely this whole thing unfolds. It's really simple. You place your Bitcoin in a long contract on the blockchain and get instant cash from NEXO Bank. You repay the loan afterwards, and the collateral, your Bitcoin, is automatically released. It has always been yours, and so there has not been any change of ownership. Should it rise in value, you profit from that. Now, let's go to the fun part, which is actually getting your cash and spending it. From the moment you secured your loan, you get your cash instantly into the NEXO Bank credit card. Now, this is for smaller transactions. which can be handled through a credit card. If you need a larger loan, let's say $1 million+, then you would get a same-day bank transfer from NEXO Bank. But let's say you actually decide to go in and buy the new MacBook Pro for $2,000 with your NEXO Bank credit card. You spend your money, and then you get a 45% grace period, where if you repay the loan in that time period, you would not pay any interest whatsoever. If, however, you have other plans for your budget, you can transform that loan into an installment loan that can go up all the way up to 2 years, and you end up paying a fraction of it monthly. Or alternatively, if you like where the price of Bitcoin is, you can instruct NEXO Bank to sell a fraction of your Bitcoin at the current market price to cover the loan. Prior to the NEXO Bank Oracle, I would like to say that all transactions that you have with NEXO Bank are based on a predetermined, fully audited blockchain loan contract and a multi-signature vault that securely holds your Bitcoin, your digital asset, for the duration of the loan. Now, this is possible thanks to our automated algorithms, the NEXO Bank Oracle in this case, and we're having a look at it right now. For the duration of the loan, the NEXO Oracle keeps track of the loan-to-value ratio, the repayments of the loans, how they're progressing, the market volatility, and several other key metrics and factors that need to be taken into account. Now, based on those metrics, the NEXO Oracle sends notifications to the borrower and takes the necessary steps as stipulated in the contract and takes according actions to them. Now, let me pause here for a second and make a confession. I am a person who does not easily trust others, especially when it comes down to my money. So what has always fascinated me about the innovation of blockchain technology, the distributed ledger, and blockchain contracts that are obvious on the distributed ledger, is the fact that I can set up a fairly complicated transaction in such a way that I never ever have to trust the other party. This is possible only through blockchain technology and the innovation that we are experiencing right now. Now, all your transactions, once they are signed, the contract gets replicated and stored on the blockchain. It gets secure, immutable, and transparent on the distributed ledger. Next slide, please. Now, these are sort of how the back-end processes of NEXO Bank work. And let me say this, we are a company and a service provider, but this product has been the result of the deficiencies that we ourselves saw on the market that we experienced as users. And so we asked people to attack our model from all over the world. We send it to get their feedback. We ourselves have attacked the model, but the truth of the matter is that what you see on this slide, it all checks out, and there simply are no alternatives to our models when it comes to enjoying and appreciating and spending your crypto without actually having to sell it. And the beauty of it all is that actually our model works for a huge variety of markets, and it's widening every day. Companies are tokenizing all types of assets, be that gold or oil or real estate. Everything that is tokenized is potential collateral that can be used by NEXO Bank, and I'm going to let now Teodora tell you a little bit more about that.
Good afternoon, everyone. I don't have any Bitcoin jokes of my own, but I'm going to tell you more about our business model. So as all of you know, right now, hundreds of billions of digital assets remain idle. And obviously, we're focusing on cryptocurrencies first. Please state it. Thank you. Obviously, we're focusing on cryptocurrencies first. They are the most liquid and mature market among the digital assets. So our immediate goal is to accept as collateral every major coin with a market capitalization above 1 billion. Every day, new companies continue to tokenize digital assets, such as hard assets, such as real estate and commodities, as well as securities and virtual assets. So we expect that this trend will continue because those new tokenized assets are very easily tradable for the fraction of the current costs. And once we cover the cryptocurrency market, we will offer the same product for those new tokenized assets, as they're expected to become a $4 trillion market by 2025. Some examples of the tokenized assets that we plan to accept as collateral include ADFs, gold, real estate, and many others. Disruptive blockchain companies throughout the world are tokenizing assets for blockchain adaptation, and we are partnering up with them. And I am sure all of you in this room holds at least one of these asset classes, just like I do. So potentially, all of us are NEXO Bank clients. We are getting huge interest from the crypto mining community because, as you know, probably crypto miners, they tend to keep everything they mine in a cryptocurrency. So, but at the same time, they have to pay huge electricity bills or buy new hardware equipment. So right now, they can get their working capital without having to sell their crypto. For everyday investors in cryptocurrencies and newly tokenized assets, as Bitcoin and Ethereum continue to gain more and more attention, this group of people will expand rapidly. Crypto funds have also expressed great interest because for them, our model gives instant leverage on their assets, something that no other institution has offered them so far. Another great group of companies are those who have recently conducted an ICO, initial coin offering. You can imagine an ICO that sold $10 million worth of Ethereum back in February when Ethereum's price was trading at $10, would have today $300 million had it used NEXO Bank. So again, as more and more asset classes get tokenized, new users for service will emerge. And the principle is actually very simple. As long as an asset is tokenized, it has enough liquidity and compatibility with blockchain contracts, NEXO Bank will offer a loan that is backed by this asset. So I can tell you a bit more about our future plans right now. By the end of this year, NEXO Bank plans a private placement financing round. By the end of the first quarter of 2018, we will have our first crypto-backed loan. By the second quarter of 2018, we plan to start issuing our first free NEXO Bank credit card for our clients and expand the range of crypto assets that we accept as collateral. And by the third quarter of 2018, we expect to have a full banking license in several jurisdictions, and we're speaking on the application. We're already negotiating the application process as we speak. And if you're wondering how we managed to make this ambitious project possible so soon, I have to tell you a bit more about who we are. Our competitive advantage is actually based on 10 years of experience building Credissimo, which is a leading European fintech group. Our efficient business model, cutting-edge technologies, and visionary management are the key drivers to our success story. We are processing millions of loan applications while being strictly supervised by multiple European financing and banking regulators. And now you have the amazing chance of joining us for the next 10 years while we work on NEXO Bank. Thank you.